Thanks, Ellen. All right, joining us now to talk about all this, Eric Subin. He's a New York trial attorney. Thanks so much for being here with us tonight.
My pleasure.
Let's start, first of all, with this question. Does a driver who was beaten up have a case against the city or against the undercover cop who was there but did not help him?
Unfortunately, probably does not. The police actually do not have an affirmative duty to protect a person from being injured by a third party. They've got qualified governmental immunity, which probably...
What do you mean the cops have no right? I mean, they're not supposed to come in and help you if they're there?
Supposed to, probably. That is one of their functions. But from a civil litigation standpoint, they probably do not have to. Actually, they do not have to intervene unless there's a special relationship between the officers and the party being injured. And that special relationship is a term of art carved out by the Court of Appeals in New York, which requires them to have direct contact prior to the incident.
Okay, so we heard earlier Wally Zines, the retired detective sergeant, say that cop should have perhaps done something like call 911 at the very least. But that you say that is just internal protocol. That's just something he should have done, but there's no basis for a lawsuit here, is what you're saying, right?
That is what I'm saying. Probably if a lawsuit was filed, it wouldn't end up being a meritorious claim. What would end up happening is there'd be a motion for summary judgment prior to the case ever getting to a jury, and the case would be dismissed by a judge as a matter of law.
Does this man have a lawsuit against the bikers who attacked him?
Absolutely. It looked a bit, based on the video, to be about 5 people who assaulted Mr. Lian, and against those people, he's got a case for an intentional tort for assault for any injuries he sustained.
Okay. The family of the biker that was run over by this driver, by Mr. Lian, has hired Gloria Allred. We all know who she is. So a lawsuit could be brought against the driver on the flip side. And this driver, I mean, the biker tonight is in very, very bad shape, in a coma.
Yeah. That's actually a very interesting case, because what that'll come down to, obviously, the emergency doctrine is going to come into effect here, meaning that Mr. Lian, who was driving the Range Rover, is going to claim that he was acting under an emergency situation, and that's why he pounded on the gas and ran over the motorcyclist. Now, the motorcyclist attorney, Ms. Aldrin, was saying that that motorcyclist was in fact trying to defuse the situation. It was an innocent bystander. What's going to come into play is when you look at the video, whether or not an emergency situation was taking place or whether or not it was Mr. Lian's biases towards motorcyclists and large groups of people. Because in the end, obviously, Mr. Lian was assaulted by a number of the motorcyclists, but he unfortunately can't use the ends to justify his means in slamming on the gas like you see right there in the video.
And then by that action, running over the biker.
He's going to have to show some objective means that there was an emergency situation that allowed him to slam on the gas at that time, running over that individual.
All right, Eric, thank you so much for being with us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Your expertise. All right, and stay tuned for Pix 11 News.